We are finally about to approach the closing deal of Activision Blizzard and Xbox. But there's not just that to talk about. We have to get into how the deal might close this week, how games might be joining Xbox Game Pass any day now, and how Xbox in 2024 might be dropping every single game we can think of from Activision Blizzard into Game Pass. Let's go into everything being said, because there's a lot of news from Activision acknowledging the deal, people that are in the industry talking about this deal, and how it might be finishing up any day now. So let's jump into this. All right, so you know the drill. If you like the video, hit that subscribe button and that like button. And if you want to be notified on future videos, hit that small little bell icon. And if you want to go that extra mile to support the channel, hit that join button. All the support is greatly appreciated. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is obviously this deal that might be closing any day now. And I'm talking about as soon as Friday, October 13th. That's right, you heard me. This week, Activision Blizzard and Microsoft might close their deal. Now, this might run into a few snags because of the CMA, but after the deal was kind of remedied and the CMA got some things that they wanted from Microsoft, they had to bring in a new deal. And since August, or I believe late August, maybe early September, Microsoft and the CMA have been working diligently to make this deal go through with concessions. And I do have to say, I think that this deal is going to be closing any day now, maybe a little bit later this week. I think they had a deadline of October 20th, I want to believe, but now it's looking like it might be this Friday where it's being completely shut down. Everything's going to go through and the acquiring might happen very quickly. Let's get into an article to see what is exactly being said and what can possibly be happening later on. Microsoft is in the process of acquiring Activision Blizzard, known for games like World of Warcraft and Call of Duty. The deal is expected to finally close this week after years battling with regulators. Despite the deal potentially closing as soon as this Friday, Activision put out a rare statement today to offer insights into its plans for Xbox Game Pass. Microsoft has said that the plan is to bring Call of Duty into Xbox Game Pass in previous statements, but Activision says the plans to do that are not yet in place. Activision notes that you can expect to see more Game Pass integrations next year, as in 2024. So I have to say one thing, that there are no guarantees that the UK might let this go through. We all know the CMA and how they can be a pretty big issue. But from what I'm seeing here, all these provisional approvals and everything that's been happening, Microsoft has kind of helped the CMA move along, and the CMA has helped Microsoft move along to get this deal done. But there is a lot to unpack here, because all eyes are on this deal, and I'm talking about the entire industry. Everybody's looking at this, trying to see what's going to happen. A lot of things seem kind of at a standstill. Nobody's really buying anyone else, and now there's even talks of EA being bought by Disney, all because of this big acquisition that's happening. Every big player in tech wants to be involved. Yet, I want to get into the statements that are being said by Activision and everyone else. Because let's be real, once this deal closes, every gamer, you, me, everybody listening to this video, and everybody on social media is going to be wondering one thing. When is Call of Duty, one of all the backlist of games that Activision Blizzard have, when are they coming to Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass PC? And it's kind of funny because for the first time, the official Activision Blizzard Twitter account kind of talked about this. Here's what they put out publicly on Twitter. It's awesome to see anticipation building for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. As we continue to work towards regulatory approval of the Microsoft deal, we've been getting some questions whether our upcoming and recently launched games will be available via Game Pass. While we do not have plans to put Modern Warfare 3 or Diablo 4 into Game Pass this year, once the deal closes, we expect to start working with Xbox to bring our titles to more players around the world, and we anticipate that we would begin adding games into Game Pass sometime in the course of next year. Now, I have to say this. If you remember last year, Sarah Bond, Matt Booty, Phil Spencer, everybody, once the deal was announced that they were going to acquire Activision Blizzard, one of the things that was completely asked them was, are these games going to be coming to Game Pass day and date, and will older games from those franchises come into Game Pass? And Sarah Bond and Matt Booty said point blank, Yes, they will be coming there, and they're going to try to get these games on Game Pass as soon as possible, which is kind of funny, and it kind of goes against what Activision Blizzard's saying, because we all know that Sarah Bond and everybody else, Matt Booty, they want those games right on Game Pass as soon as possible to drive subscription base and put people on their platform. That's the whole point of this. This is a PC move. I've always said this. Activision Blizzard is a PC move. They want to get games like StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Call of Duty, all of those games, not only on the console, but they want to get them on PC to drive that subscription base higher so they can make more money. And the only way to do that is to get those games on there as soon as possible, and especially Diablo 4. Now, I know a lot of people say Diablo 4 kind of fell off, but that game still has, I believe, 5 to 6 million people playing it a day. And that is massive. When it first launched, it was a huge success. I played the hell out of it. A bunch of people I know played a lot of that game. I have over 100 hours into that thing. And I'm sure that when the new seasons drop, when the expansions drop, everything, it's going to be on Game Pass and people are going to love it even more. But the whole point of this is to get more people on there. And one person, Jez Gordon, who I think is a very well-known journalist within the gaming industry, he had this to say, and he put out a little bit of an article talking about it. Our sources indicate, surprising nobody, that despite Activision's statement, you can expect to see a bunch of Activision stuff hit Xbox Game Pass as soon as the deal is finalized. What would you like to see hit Xbox Game Pass? Well, Jez, pretty much everything, and I think I speak freely for everybody here that we would like to see all the games come to Game Pass as soon as possible. Now, I think that Xbox, if they do close this deal, they're going to try to push Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 onto the Game Pass platform as soon as possible, because it's, again, the biggest game coming out this year. Now, I know Starfield is the biggest game. I know there's other games out there that are huge that people are hyped for, but let's be real. Call of Duty is usually the game that everyone buys every single year for some reason. It never flops. It sells millions and millions of units. People always play it. It's the highest selling game every year. So why not put that on Game Pass and just have your subscription base be flooded with money? That is what I think the strategy is going to be. Get these Activision Blizzard deals, put them into Game Pass, and then move forward. Now, I do have to say that you just don't know what's going to happen. Of course, it's going to take some time for them to integrate with Xbox and, of course, Microsoft and become part of the franchises and become part of the business. But I really do think that getting all these games on there as soon as possible is going to be #1 priority for Phil Spencer and his team, because that's what they want to do. They want to get PC gamers in the Microsoft ecosystem, and it stands to benefit a lot from them doing that. That is the biggest growth that they have, is through the PC. Phil Spencer has said it. Everybody has said it. Now, if they get those games on console, I'm sure they're going to get a lot of people to join, but it's going to be the PC that pushes this thing forward and really breaks the barrier of where they are, which, if my calculations prove, are about, let's call it 25 to 30 million subscribers on Game Pass. You throw in StarCraft, you throw in Diablo, you throw in Call of Duty, and you throw in World of Warcraft, and all those games like Overwatch, you're going to see a massive growth from Xbox, and you're going to see that on the PC side, and you're going to see that on the subscription side. So let's hope that happens. So I don't know what else is going to happen. I know there's going to be a lot of news coming out. I wanted to get this video out there to talk about it and also get some understanding of what you want out of this deal. Do you think that we're going to see a lot of these games go into Game Pass day and date? Will it take several months for them to integrate these games in there, which I think it might take a little longer for like the bigger games like World of Warcraft and some of the games that have an online presence and a massive community? I think those might take a little while to come onto Game Pass. Not to mention, what are they going to do with the subscription services tied to World of Warcraft and other games that they have subscription services with too? And of course, the big question that I've always been asking, what are they going to do with the Xbox store, and what are they going to do with Battle.net? I know a lot of people have been talking about this on the PC side. Battle.net, a lot of people love. It's probably the second best store out there behind Steam. So I wonder what Xbox is going to do with that software platform, because I got to say, Battle.net is amazing, and they've been building that for over 20 years. It is very well made, very well coded. So I wouldn't be surprised if they start integrating things between them and actually put them together. We'll see what happens there, but let me know down below what you think about that. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button to support us out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also follow me on Xbox Live. My gamer tag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. So right now, I've been playing a lot of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I know I've been playing it for a little while now. I'm loving the game. The new update has made it significantly better. It's not even a joke. The performance mode is better. Everything on it is just much smoother. I almost feel guilty for playing it early. I know that sounds kind of weird. I feel like I should have just waited for the new patch to come out because the game just feels so much better. I got the ray tracing going on full blast. Everything's running smooth. You throw on DLSS and it just looks stunning. I have to say that they did a good job. I'm glad EA and Respawn patched it because it's deservedly such a good game. And honestly, with this new patch and the way I've been playing it, it should be a contender for Game of the Year. I know there's a lot of games out there like Baldur's Gate 3, Starfield, and Diablo 4, and a bunch of other ones like Zelda, but I think this thing should be in contention. It's just such a great game, and it feels so good to play, and it's gorgeous. Not to mention, it's a big franchise like Star Wars, so I think this should be up there for Game of the Year. After that, I want to jump into Spider-Man, which launches in, I think, 10 days counting, or a little soon, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to pre-order that and play so much of that for the next several weeks that I'm going to probably lose myself into it. I love comic books. I love Spider-Man, so it's one of my most anticipated games of the year, and I have to say, I said this to everybody else, I was probably going to play Spider-Man 2 over Starfield if they launched at the same time. I know that sounds weird, but I have to say, man, Spider-Man is awesome. But let me know what you're playing. Are you playing something on your Xbox? Are you playing something on your PS5? Are you just finishing up a game that you're ready to start up a new one? Let me know what you're playing because I feel like there's so many games coming out right now that it's kind of insane. I feel like there's just too much. It's almost overwhelming because of how many games are coming out every single week. There just seems to be a brand new AAA game like Assassin's Creed, the new Phantom Liberty, you name it, it's out there and it's kind of insane. So let me know what you're playing because that's what we're here for, to talk about games. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching. And until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.